right, Philly, we are here, WPEB, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM. I am CJ in the studio today, and it is actually, listening audience, I don't want to say a summer day, but it is a springy forward daylight savings time change of weather. So I'm hoping that you are enjoying the weather change. I know I am, as I went to the track to walk yesterday after work. And we are here in the studio, and I hope you're enjoying your day as you are tuned into the show, CJ Speaks Live. I am here today with Timothy Lawson. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, how y'all doing? First time on the radio. How everybody doing today?
I hope you all are doing well. Tim is here today. I'm not going to be rude. His significant other, Shanice?
Yes.
Shanice is also in the studio with us. If you could see us, you would know exactly what's going down on this day. But since you are only able to hear us, I am glad that you're tuned in. I hope that you are going to be as uplifted and educated as I am about to be. I did my best not to ask too many questions because I like to learn, as well as the audience or some audience members. They may already know what's going on in terms of the subject we're going to get into. So be sure you have a piece of paper, you have a pencil or a pen, something to write with, because we are going to get a lesson today. What are you going to share with us today, Tim?
Well, just my upbringing, a little bit about my past. I'm not going to go too much into it, where I was educated and how you could get started into trading cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency. I was introduced to cryptocurrency back in 2000, I want to say 16, 17, when I was teaching at Roosevelt Elementary School. And as you and I were talking earlier, or the end of last week, things that are new, we tend to shy away from. And the reality of it is that cryptocurrency conversation in 16, almost 10 years later, is definitely up and running. So I am here to be educated. I am looking forward to the lesson that you're going to teach us. And who knows, I might become one of those individuals that follow you in your genre of currency, crypto style.
Okay, definitely. I definitely want to. And I'm going to impart on you and some of your followers where I'm going to tell you at the end of this where you can follow me. And the first 10 people who follow me from this broadcast, I'll give them a free copy of my book, 5 Simple Tools on How to Invest in Crypto. And I'll leave that with you too for, allowing me to come here and explain my knowledge today.
Thank you. Tell us the name of your book again.
5 Simple Tools on How to Invest into Crypto.
Nice.
So this book is a guide, and I wrote it for someone that don't know anything about crypto. They heard about it. They want to know more. This book is a 14-page digital book, but it's going to get you set up from A to B.
Nice.
So it's more so of a guide, but here we are, just giving people the knowledge of cryptocurrency, because only about 7 to 10% of the world population today is invested in the crypto. And in our neighborhoods and with our people, it's probably less than that. I didn't do the statistics, but it's probably less than 7%. And this is going to be a great transfer of wealth going forward.
So, as a beginner, 101, what is cryptocurrency?
So cryptocurrency is a decentralized currency that is encrypted. So think about, you have a lockbox. I'm going to use this analogy, right? And just like back in the day, your grandmom used to put $100 in this lockbox, but she got the lock and key.
Right.
But she also put an additional lock on there. And then she put another lock on top of that. So now, just to get grandma $100, you got 3 locks on top of that lockbox. Cryptocurrency is that. Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency, for example, is made in a way where it's crypted. So that way you can't steal the money. Like, I can send you $100 worth of Bitcoin if you're in China, and it's not like going through Western Union or not. I can instantly send it through our phone if we both got the same platforms to use, and it's crypted. So you send me your address, and I'll explain what that is later. Address wallet, and I'll send you the money, and it's crypted in a way where the thieves and the digital thieves or the cyber thieves can't steal your money in a transaction. So that's what cryptic is. It's like a currency that has a bunch of locks on it.
Wow, that's simple,
Yeah,
but it
I,
sounds so intense.
it is. And the reason it was formed, like, we don't know who formed Bitcoin, but they formed it because Bitcoin runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with the other cryptocurrencies. People back in, I want to say, '09, yeah, 2009, Bitcoin was formed. People were sick of the banks. Because remember that crash in '08 with the banks?
Yes.
So people got sick of trusting their money to the banks, having another crash. And it seemed like the banks was the only place that you could park your money at that time. But this is why Bitcoin was formed. So that way you could put your money into Bitcoin and you can move your money freely throughout the world. So with it being decentralized, like, banks are only open 5 or 6 days a week. Your bank probably open from Monday to Saturday. It used to be back in the day, Monday through Friday, some banks.
Right.
And if it's an emergency, like let's say it's a Saturday night, something happened with your car, I can't send you money. I'll be like, okay, CJ, I would love to send you this $100 to fix your muffler or, whatever's going on, but I can't until Monday. So your car would have to stay on Broad Street until then, and hopefully nobody would take the tires or nothing. But now it's a different type of world now. You got Cash App. You got many ways of getting currency to you, but Bitcoin was one of those first where, okay, I'm gonna send you 200 of Bitcoin, call a tow truck, get it to wherever it's going. But now you got the money in an instant because it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is opening it up for businesses. So businesses started using Bitcoins to sell their goods and services around the world. So now you don't have to worry about exchanging the Japanese yen for the US dollar, the Canadian dollar for the US dollar. Now you can just use Bitcoin. Like, if I want to sell my book in Canada and they got the Canadian dollar, now I can just say, hey, instead of you giving me that, you could give me some Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin that it takes for $100 or whatever I sell my book for. You could give me that as a currency. I'll change that into US currency and you'll get my book.
Wow. So going back to the example of the emergency, and I get the $100 Bitcoin, but how do I get? Okay, I'm speaking from dollar bills now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking from my norm of how I've been trained and programmed, that is. So how do I get the $100 you send me, Bitcoin, to the person that's going to tow my car? How does that work if they only take cash or credit?
So if they take credit, no problem. So I'm going to explain to it. So today, right, we're just going to use today terms because everything is so decentralized. And decentralized meaning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you're on Broad Street. I send you $100 worth of Bitcoin. I might send you 125 because of fees. Now, we both got this app, and I'm going to say this app is called Coinbase. You have it on your phone. I have it on my phone. So through your Coinbase wallet, now wallet is the term of where we hold our cryptocurrencies. Through your Coinbase wallet, I'm going to send you 125 because Coinbase is going to give you some fees for, converting that to US dollars. So when I send it to your Coinbase wallet, it's going to come in as $125 worth of Bitcoin. You can convert that in the app to USD or US dollars. And then from there, the app will allow you, and they'll probably take a 13% fee or a 10% fee. You can take that cash. Let's say I gave you 125. After the fees, you'll probably pay like $10 to $13. So you're going to get like $105 back after, giving you the fees. Now, don't roast on me. The math ain't correct, but I'm just
Right.
using
Yes.
I'm just using an
Hypothetically.
example. So now you
Yes.
got the $105, $110. You got cash now into your account, wherever you with Chase Bank, Police and Fire, Federal Credit Union, where whoever you bank with. Now from Coinbase, you got it in your account. Now you can use your card like, okay, Mr. Towman, I have this $100. on my card because my friend Tim sent it to me. But now you can make the transaction with your debit card or credit card.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no conversation because it's none of their business.
No,
You just had handled on.
and I sent it within. Sometimes it takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but within that 10-minute time, you have the money.
That was not difficult.
No, no,
But you have to have that app
yeah, you have to have the app.
to receive and then to convert.
Yes. So it's 3 apps that, and trust me, I'm not getting paid by them, but 3 apps that I use: Coinbase, uh, another app called Gemini.com, and Crypto.com. So those are the 3 wallets I mainly use, but it's hundreds of wallets out there because it's hundreds of thousands of coins out there, and every coin is not on every platform.
What do you mean by that?
So, for instance, we're going to go to our friend Bitcoin again. Bitcoin is on every platform because that's the newest one.
Okay.
Now you got the meme coins like Pele Pele and Shiba Inu. Now I don't know if you ever heard of Shiba Inu. It's a coin, but the logo is the dog, the Shiba Inu dog, like the pretty dog that look like a fox.
Mm.
So that's what you call a meme coin. It has no value like the Bitcoin is, like it's a transaction coin. This is just a coin that's like a piece of art, and people have they pay into this coin, they buy this coin, and they like it, and they have a good following. They have $1 billion market cap. So with that, that's not on every platform. I think you could get it on Gemini, Crypto.com, but it wouldn't be on something like the Binance network, things like that. So that particular coin would not be on everything.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw something at you that may be relative and maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the new, well, we consider Bitcoin to be virtual.
It is all virtual.
It is virtual.
Yes.
Okay, so then my question might be on point. NFTs. Do you know what an NFT is?
Yep.
So
non-fungible token.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a guest that talked about NFTs, and that was really way over my head. What is there a parallel between NFTs and Bitcoins, or are they just virtual platforms for usage?
Can I make it simple for you?
Okay.
So NFTs you can buy with money, or you can buy with Bitcoin and other virtual currencies like other tokens. So NFT is just another form of art. So let's say you painted a picture of a beautiful flower, right? You can screenshot that painting that you did, make it digital, and you can sell it as an NFT. Now, NFTs kind of cool down on their popularity, but you ever seen, I don't know if you've seen online, the monkey? It's trying to say this sensitive because some people think it's like a race element to it, but it was like a cool monkey and he wore like a baseball cap in it, and they kept on remaking it. It was like he had a red cap, a blue cap, then he had sunglasses on. I forgot what it's called, but it's an NFT. That was going for hundreds of thousands, $1,000. Like people was reselling that monkey to a lot of people, and they was making money. So it's a piece of art that you can control. You can change the color of that art a little bit and sell it again. Like, for example, let's go back to the flower that you wrote, the rose. You made it red, right? You sold it to me for $10,000. Now I do something online where I make that rose purple, and I sell it to the other person, but instead of $10,000, now I want $50,000 for this. And that's how NFTs was. It was digital art, like a digital art gallery online where people can amend the painting the way they want every time they get it, and they can resell it. So it's resellable art, basically.
But am I able to take that NFT and put on my wall?
You can print it out.
You can print it out.
Yeah, you can print it out.
Why are they so expensive?
Now you got me there. I don't know why they were so expensive, so I'm just trying to wrap my head around it because I only studied the coins at this point. But I believe they're so expensive because they're in the ecosystem of crypto. So it's like you buy, and people was buying it with crypto. So some of these art pieces like that monkey, they'll probably say $10,000 worth of crypto was these coins, and then they, will convert them. So when I say $10,000, it won't be like $10,000 of cash. When it's in that ecosystem, it'll be the coin. Like, okay, I'm going to sell this to you for $20,000 worth of Bitcoin, or $20,000 worth of Ethereum or Shiba Inu. You pay my price, I get that. You get the digital art, but now you own the digital art. And let's say, and like I said, this is the crazy thing. They always redo it. They'll put like sunglasses on a person, another hat, make them smile, make them frown, and resell the art for higher. It's I think it's revolutionized the art world, and they have NFT digital galleries out there too. So you can have an NFT digital gallery, and you can shop for digital art and hold on to it, and it has value. My friend Rob, he's an artist, so he gave me two of his NFTs for free, and they're worth a couple of dollars. I gotta look back in my wallet and see what they worth, but it's it was nice that he gave them to me. But from here, I can change the skin tone. I could put a hat on it and sell it back to somebody else. I haven't done that yet because, my focus of study is on the money and the ecosystem of the coins. But NFTs are very, very lucrative. Even to this day, they slow down with their popularity, but I believe once everything go back up, people are going to be looking for more digital art.
Wow. So you made reference to the 25,000 Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's the same amount that you said, but for the example, that's not $25,000.
Yeah, it would be. So now let me break this down a little bit more. So one Bitcoin is worth $79,000. I just seen it on the way up here, but it was $100,000 a couple of weeks ago. So if you got one Bitcoin, you're worth $79,000.
So I want to purchase one Bitcoin today. What do I pay for that Bitcoin?
$79,000.
In
Right,
US money.
In U.S. money, yes. Now, remember 2016 that you said? I mean,
hold on. So I'm going to spend $80,000 on a coin.
Yeah, that's going to go up. Yeah,
it's going to be worth how much?
It's today is worth 79,000. Tomorrow it could be worth 100,000, depending on the volatility of the market. So I want to go back to, remember when we was talking about 2016?
Yes.
So I'm gonna put myself out there, and I never want to speak negative of myself, so I'm not gonna say I was ignorant, but I was misinformed. And everybody out there, never speak bad about yourself. So I was misinformed. I thought it was a scam. Somebody told me about Bitcoin in 2016. 2016, I believe it was between $150 to $200. Now let's say me and you, CJ, let's say we spent 200,000, right? I mean $200 for Bitcoin in 2016. It'll be worth today, that one Bitcoin that we brought, about 80,000 right now. So it's not too late to invest in this, because there is coins that's going to do the same shift like Bitcoin. One coin in particular. Oh, and let me just do the disclaimer. This is not financial advice, everybody, but this is just my own synopsis. I just have to say that just to cover bases.
Yes.
So one coin in particular is called XRP. So XRP, I've been looking into this coin a lot, and I've been getting a lot of information on this coin. Now, this coin worked with the banks all around the world. So this coin is going to be a transaction. Instead of Bitcoin, now you're going to send XRP to China, Indonesia, Japan, and like, let's say you living in Indonesia now, CJ, you just got off the grid. Like, hey, I'm just going to go to another country. And then let's say you need money for your apartment, and you call me up. Hey, Tim, can I get, because Indonesia, I think, the currency, the US dollar, probably a little stronger there. I sent you whatever you need, but I'm not sending it in Bitcoin. I'm sending it to your bank in Indonesia by XRP. So now you have the currency of that country just to buy, whatever you need there. Let's say I'm sending you $1,000, but now XRP is worth today $2.06. So I would have to, I don't have my calculator out here. So for me to send you about $100,000, I have to pay $2 on every dollar, just to send that to you. But it's worth $2.06.
Wow.
Now, imagine this coin in the next 3 to 5 years going to 80,000. Today we could get it, and like I said, this is not financial advice. We could get it for $2.06. Imagine if you just bought one of those. That's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
So how does this go along with the stock exchange, or does it?
It does. So now it does go along with the stock exchange. So it's a term called ETF. So now that people that just trade stocks, they can't, a lot of the stockbrokers, they can't offer Bitcoin to their clients. They can't offer cryptocurrencies because by you trading cryptocurrencies, there's no license to do this or anything because it's decentralized. But they made stocks out of the cryptocurrencies now called ETFs. So you have a Bitcoin ETF, you have an Ethereum ETF, and this is the kicker. With XRP, the one that I was talking about that's collaborating with the banks,
yes,
they're in the midst of creating their ETFs. Once they do that, then the shareholders and the people who have 401ks, the people who's like working with their pensions and stuff, now they can invest into XRP and Bitcoin by doing the ETFs. Now this is going to explode the crypto even higher because now it's related to stocks. Before it wasn't no stocks related to crypto, but now it's going to be. So instead of getting a Bitcoin, and let's say I was a stockbroker. I'm Tim, the stockbroker. And I'm like, CJ, I'm going over your portfolio. This is your 401k plan. Do you want to invest in Nike or do you want to invest in Bitcoin ETF? Then you say, what's that, Tim? And then I say, oh, CJ, let me explain what that is. So Bitcoin ETF, I could say, because I'm a financial advisor, I'm not allowed to tell you about buying crypto because that's not our space. But you could buy the stock that's related to the Bitcoin. And the thing is, the ETF is not worth as much as the Bitcoin now, but it's about to drive up to that, it's going to drive up eventually to that 80,000 or even more.
Which one is $2.60?
It's
the
called
XRP or
yep,
the ETF?
The XRP.
That's worth
$2.06. $2.06. Excuse me.
What is the ETF worth?
They didn't bring out their ETF yet. Bitcoin ETF, I don't know what it's worth offhand, but it's I believe the last time I checked, I believe I paid $14 for one. It might be up, it might be down, but I believe I paid $14 for one stock of Bitcoin ETF.
Wow. How long ago?
A couple of weeks ago. I'm just finding out about the ETFs, so I'm definitely doing this as I go along. So I want to say about a month ago, I got into it.
Wow. Philly, I don't know if you have your pencil and paper. I've been taking major notes. You are listening to WPEB 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM. You're listening to CJ Speaks Live. And we have Timothy Lawson here talking about Bitcoin and just the variation of what it really looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that really wasn't intense, what you explained. It seemed to be pretty layman's term. You just have to know how to use and what it means to use, I guess.
Yes. And if I could go back a little, I started in 2018 because I was like, man, I got to get into this. I started with $5. So what I did, I was like, I'm gonna test this. Me and my friend Sean, I was like, it was coming off it's a movie called Dope. I don't know, have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of the movie Dope.
Yes. Yeah, it was produced by Pharrell Williams. It was about the nerdy kid, but he was into 90s hip hop. I'm definitely a hip hop baby, so I love that movie. But in that movie, and he was using Bitcoin. Now he was using Bitcoin for something bad. He was selling drugs. And he was using Bitcoin for payment. And, like I said, that happened in the early 2000s too, so I'm trying to stay away from that part of the Bitcoin. So it is some dark coins, the underworld would use it to do certain things with it because it was like untraceable or it's decentralized. But at that point, when I saw that movie, and I think it came out 2016, 2017, I asked my friend because he was into it. I was like, is this cryptocurrency, a scam? Because just like everybody else, I was, skeptical. I was like, man, what is this? So he was like, no, I got a couple of this and that. And I remember the first two things I bought. I bought $5 worth of Bitcoin. And that, at that time, I think a whole coin was like 20,000. So, I ain't have 20,000. But you can buy, and that's another thing with cryptocurrency, you can buy fractional shares. So you don't have to buy 80,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $5 a day. And if Bitcoin goes up to like 100 and 110,000, you'll probably turn your $5 into like 20, 30 bucks because you put it in there. So I started off with $5 in that and started off with $5 in this thing called Litecoin. They was trying to make another Bitcoin, but they called it Litecoin. So I started, trading that a little, and I had my Coinbase wallet, and I wasn't doing much with it. I was just buying it, as the weeks go, like, hey, I'm gonna put 10 in here and 10 in there. But I started noticing that the Litecoin was going up. I started noticing that like my $5 and $10 I was putting here was turning into $50. Then that was turning into 100. Then I was like, wow, this is really moving. And when I met my wife, this was in 2018, she here now. I was also I was working full time, but I was just investing part time. It was just like a hobby of mine, but I didn't think how serious this was. And at the time, and I'm explaining this, it's this thing called Forex. And that's where you could trade foreign exchange currencies like the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. I don't know if you ever see on YouTube those people just watching the charts, and when the charts go up, their money go up. That's like Forex. Like you can invest that way too. So I started investing in that, and my wife was looking at it, and she was my big encourager. She was like, Tim, why ain't you doing this full time? And she looked, and I'm showing it to her casual, like, yeah, this is just something I do at the side. We wasn't married at the time. So I started taking it more seriously. I want to say 2019, 2020, we both got a mentor in crypto. We stayed with him for about 6 months. And then after we was done with his toolage, I started really getting into it. I started looking at the way you increase your money. I was looking at the risk management factors of it until where I'm at today, where now I'm teaching and coaching people on how to invest into crypto with minimal loss. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, it's always going to be a loss. Like me and her, we experience a loss right now because everything is down. Not going to speak on politics or nothing, but just if you're looking at current events, everything is down because of what's going on with the economy, what's going on with everything that's going on with foreign countries have to pay tariffs and stuff. So this whole stock market, crypto market, everything is down. But this is where the technology come in. I'm going to take y'all back to 2009 when the housing market, 2008, when all the markets going down. This is what the wealthy did. When we sold our houses and we sold our stocks and stuff, people, and I'm not going to name no names, but billionaires came up and took those assets that we sold. So now when, the housing market got back up, these houses is so unaffordable now because when it was at the bottom, the wells and the rich took advantage of it and we sold because of fear. Come back to 2025. We in that same place. This is, and like I said, I'm going to say it again. This is not financial advice, but I'm just going to say what I do. We're in a fair market now. Because of everything that's down, this is the best time to buy. You always want to buy low and sell high. So my philosophy is to buy in the red and sell in the green. Right now, in January, Bitcoin was $105,000. It went down like almost 30,000. It's like $21,000 it went down. So it's down to 79,000. Now, some people in our community might look at that like, Tim, why am I invested in this? This went down from 100,000. I'm not doing that. But in other communities, if I could say, they're going to look at it as opportunity. Wow, Bitcoin was at 105,000. And if I got the money, instead of me paying 105,000 and I'm a millionaire and I could get Bitcoin at 79, I'm going to buy 3 or 4 of those because they look at it as opportunity. We look at it as fear. Oh, Nike not doing no good. Sell the Nike stock. Others going to look at, oh, Nike ain't doing well. Can I get Nike for stock for $67? Sure, let me load up. Let me put $1,000 worth in that. Now when Nike go back up to $200, $300, the person who sees the opportunity, they got the gain. The person who sold, they sold it cheap at $67 and they didn't get the gain. So a lot of this, when I've been doing this for you over 5 years now with crypto, a lot of this is patience. Crypto, when everything was changing in November, crypto was really rallying. Crypto was rallying up, stocks was rallying up, but now everything is down because it's a fair economy. But remember, what is the law of nature? What goes down must come up, and what goes up must come down.
Right.
So this is the perfect time to get it. Let me use an analogy, and I'm going to do it because my wife in here, and I'm not going to pick on you ladies. A shoe sale, right?
Okay.
I don't know if y'all wear Louis Vuittons and stuff. What if I told you that Louis Vuitton is on sale? What they about, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000? But what if I say you could get Louis Vuitton for $200 now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying y'all, y'all not fashion, y'all not like.
I'm a fashionista.
Oh, you are a
I'm
fashionista.
supposed to be a fashion designer, so I know exactly what you're saying. Absolutely.
So
I buy the shoe that was so much, but when the store has to move the shoes, and they put them on sale, that's why Joan Shep and I are fighting.
Yeah.
Because when it's 75% off, if the shoe is $271 or $210, I'm looking for 70% off at $210.
Yeah.
Joan Shep stops it.
At
$210. That is the 70% off. So if it doesn't get rid of, it goes to the basement, and then she has a basement sale. So now Nitwit brought it down because I had my Robert Clergerais in my 20s, and my shoes may have been $25, $30 versus $300 or $500. So the fashion Louis Vuitton going down to $200. Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah. So Louis Vuitton having a basement sale. Let's say below $200, like you said, now you can get it in the basement for $70. Same thing as these stocks. And what I'm gonna say, what I did was, it's this tech stock called AMD. Now this is Advanced Microchips. They do a lot of stuff with the AI technology that's out here and the Chat GPT. What I did was, and like I said, this is not financial advice, this is what I did. Usually that stock is up to $300. It went all the way down to $95. And me and my wife bought, one. It's just like, I caught it on the sale. I looked at it as, this was my Louis Vuitton. This was my Clark shoes. Because I like wearing Wallabies. I got on some now, but this was I was like, oh, instead of me getting Clarks at $500, now I got a chance to get these Clarks at $98. I'm all in. But now on, how the kids resell all these Nikes and shoes. Now, if I want to resell these Clarks when the economy go back up, now you can sell those Louis Vuittons back for $2,000 or $3,000. Now you can sell the Clarks I got for $50, back up to, the $300. So that's my analogy of buying low and selling high. Do it for the stocks too. Don't look at it as, oh, this is weak because Sony is at $20. No, load up on Sony, and it is at $20, by the way. Load up on the Sony stock. The PlayStation come out every year. New games come out. You get Sony stock for $20. It's going to go up 30, 40, 50, probably back to 100 once it's a healthy economy again. So what you do with those assets that you buy right now when they low, this is the time. This is where the billionaires and stuff loading up. I'm going to say this, and it's a lot of technology going on in the language of the news. they're signaling or double talking to their millionaires, putting everybody in fear. But guess what the millionaires doing? Oh, we getting all of this. So we sell our assets. They get all our assets. And then when it's an up economy, the rich get richer. And whoever was naive or didn't hit the boat, we stay the same or even in a worse predicament. Now, I'm going to say this too. You could buy fractional stocks and you could buy fractional crypto. So you don't have to be a millionaire. And I'm gonna give this tip on your show. Have you ever heard of this book called The Richest Man of Babylon?
No.
Okay, definitely a good read. Y'all should read it. So The Richest Man of Babylon is an old school book on finance, but it's 3 principles in that book that everybody should know. You spend 10% of you have $1,000, right? 10% go to tithing, 10% goes to saving, and 10% go to investing.
Oh, not in my pocket. That's what.
Oh yeah, saving, yeah.
That last 10%, whatever's left over goes in my pocket. Is what.
Yeah. So yeah, 10% go in your pocket. So I'm gonna make it pretty simple. If you living off $1,000 a week, right? You live off the $700. The $700 is to pay your mortgage, your bills, and every day. And this is a weekly basis. $300 is going to be taken out of that. One for tithing, whether you're feeding the homeless, giving it to charitable donations like your church or anything. One's to savings, where you put $100 in your pocket. Remember, pay yourself before paying your bills. I know it seemed like, well, Tim, I got bills through the roof. You know, we all do. Some of us got behind, but always remember to pay yourself. It's going to work out in the long run. And then you take the other 100 and invest. And the reason being, in this book, it explains why you do that, because over time, your debt's going to be paid. You're going to have a nest egg, and your investments is going to make you even richer over time. So a lot of people will rely on their 401k. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm challenging everybody on your program just to take 10% of their income, no matter what it is. If you're making $500 a week, if you're making $300 a week, you can do this with any low or high number that you have. Do these basic principles, and I would say within 3 to 6 months, you'll see it change, not only in your attitude, but it's a discipline, and you'll see a change in your finances. So I would say The Richest Man of Babylon, definitely get that. But when I started doing that, I seen on one of my accounts, it went back down now because of the economy. But in January, one of my crypto accounts was almost at $11,000. And that's just one, because I got 3 of them. But I started every week auto investing 10% of my income going into crypto. Now, not just crypto. I think I did 10% of my income, 5% to crypto and 5% to stocks. So I kind of split it. But also, the greatest investment, you can invest in yourself. Even you can take that $100 and you can get programs like my program, of course, to help you into crypto. But you can also use that $100 and invest in yourself. Buy a book that you want to do. If you're, like you say, you're into fashion, and I know you know fashion, but you might can buy a book on how the upcoming trends are, things like that, because knowledge is infinite. You're never going to know it all. So me and my wife always pay for our education sometimes, and we'll get a course for $100. We'll get a course for $200. But it helps us in the long run because we tweak whatever's in that course and we use it for our everyday lives when we either creating content or selling our products and services.
Wow, that's really dope what you just shared. I didn't even think about that with Sony and the new boxes that they come out with, and then all of the program games. So I want to go back to my days of PSFS. And that's something my daughter will never experience. So going to the bank with the money I got for whatever the money was for, it was a passbook savings account. So you actually saw the woman or man, it was typically a woman, she put your bank book through a machine and it put in the bank book the money that you put into your account. So we don't really have those kind of things anymore. We don't have interest on our savings accounts anymore. Not the everyday savings account. I think I get 0.01 in my checking account once a month. And I think that's my interest. Whatever that is, that's not even a penny. So the passbook saving and the cryptocurrency, how do they become one, or are they pretty much kind of the same?
So I can answer that. So with the bank savings, I'm going to tackle that first. When you put $100 in the bank, it's for you to have liquid money. So say you put, we're going to use that $1,000. This is your salary for the week after taxes. You like now, let's say you saved up to $2,000 or $3,000, but now you have a business opportunity, or someone say, "Hey, CJ, I want to sell you my car detailing business for 3,000. I already got the people here. This is how much it make a month. Let's say that if they sell it to you for 3,000, let's say it's making like 1,000 a month. Now, let's say you bought that business from them. Now you're going to make that 3,000 back because you have a vehicle or something, a system that's going to pay you $1,000 a month because you acquired a business with the money that you save. So when you save that money, it's to build up to get another opportunity or another asset. Sometimes we don't think about assets. We want to have our mind saying that nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. So I wanted my people that I'm not never going to look down on anybody working a 9 to 5, but we want our money to work harder for us. So remember, when you investing in the crypto, when you investing in the stock, when you get your money working for you and you buy certain things like real estate, land, things like that, now you got your money working for you. Now you don't have to work as hard as you did because you always want to have money coming in. And the richest man of Babylon talks about that too. So me and my wife is in a situation, now we're creating businesses and creating systems where the money is going to work for us instead of us working hard for the money. Now, laziness cannot be a factor in this. Now, you do got to wake up. You do got to put in, especially if you're working for yourself, instead of 60 hours a week, you might have to work 80 hours a week because now you're working for yourself to have everything coming in. But once you get to that threshold, whereas, okay, I don't have to worry about money no more. Now you got your time back. You got your time back for your family. You got your time back for your kids. You got your time back for the things you love. So time is actually the new currency now because we have limited amount of time. So you want your time back. But I would say this, going back to the savings, this is not financial advice. I got to say this. You might want to look into Synchrony. They do a high yield savings account. So you might not want to put your money in your bank. You can go online and look at high yield savings because I think they'd be like 5 to 8% ARP. So on a monthly basis, if you put your stuff on a high yield savings, you could get more money than just putting in a savings account. And then you're only making 2 cents out the year because
Right.
you just, they only give you that fraction of percent. So I would say start looking into a high yield savings. So that way, when you do take that portion of your savings, instead of putting it in your regular bank, you could put it into one of those vehicles that, well, it's still a savings account, but it's going to yield you more money than the bank.
So is a high yield savings different from those CDs that are being offered? There's a, what is it called? Certificate of deposit, I believe.
I believe so because with the high yield savings, and I had with my bank, police and fire, I had a money marketing account that I have like kind of like my high yield savings. The only difference is like with the CD, it's locked in for a time. So if you got a 3-year CD, you can't take money out into that 3 years. The high yield savings account, I believe you could withdraw money, but I think they penalize you after the third withdrawal on a monthly basis, but you could withdraw like once or twice a month
Okay.
with some of those. But you got to read like the terms and conditions of it. But
Yes.
it's kind of better than the CD because you can, like, let's say you do have that opportunity where you're buying a business or you're buying a laundromat and you was able to save with the high yield savings $10,000. Now you could take that out and go buy your asset.
Okay, I'm loving this information. You are tuned in today to WPEB 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM. I am CJ. You're listening to CJ Speaks Live, and we are in the studio today with Timothy Lawson, and he is just spilling out ways that, as a Black community, we can make a difference. we can begin to keep the money, keeping the money in our community. So that means businesses may have to become crypto in
Yeah.
order for us to interact in terms of sales.
And can I give a quick shout out to, so I do a lot of things for, the community. So I'm gonna give a shout out to the Diamond Club in, I want to say, Voorhees, New Jersey. So forgive me, y'all, because they're listening. The Diamond Club is some kids from high school that I mentored recently on how to create digital products. Their teacher, Eric Holmes, is one of my fraternity brothers in Kappa Alpha Psi. So he asked me, he was like, can you teach the kids? Can you teach the kids? I didn't teach them crypto yet, but I showed them how they can make digital products and they can become entrepreneurs at their age. So I empowered them that. But, and this is a good segue. I have the name of my organization. I haven't put it out now, but I have an organization that, and me and you discussed this, that I'm going to go into the at-risk youth prisons and the high schools teaching kids crypto. So when they go into being adults, they'll already have a portfolio. Now with the crypto wallets, you do have to be 18, but there's nothing wrong with teaching them how to do it. They can also empower their parents and have their parents open a wallet for them, and they can start investing through their parents, and then their parents can release the wallet to them when they get of age or 18 years old.
Wow. It was something that I thought about as you were speaking. You mentioned, what are you teaching these children again?
Well, I taught them how to create their own digital products, whether
That's
it's
it.
photography. Oh,
Okay.
and also,
What is a digital product?
let me. So a
Yes.
digital product is something that you create once and you can forever sell. Like for instance, my book, that's a digital product. Once you pay me, I'll send you the PDF to my book, but I could sell that PDF 100 times over, just like an NFT. That's a digital product. Um, Songs now are digital products. Remember when we used to go to Sam Goody and we used to have to, if we wanted to get Wyclef CD or Angie Stone, rest in peace, Queen.
Yes.
If we wanted the Angie Stone CD, we had to get it. Now Angie Stone family, hopefully the record labels are fair, can eat off it because now her products is digital. Every time we listen to Brother or every time we listen to I Wish I Didn't Miss You Anymore, it's supposed to be royalties going to the family. And now that everything digital, Angie Stone made that song once. Now it can be heard monthly through the listeners that like Angie Stone. So that's a digital product. Music, producing is a digital product. Making a book, a webinar. Also, my coaching is a digital product. Now, my coaching is more so a one-on-one with Zoom, but that's a digital product. Someone paid me for coaching. Then from there, I can coach the people, using digital technology. And also I can, even if I'm not coaching, I can make classes through YouTube and sell that as a digital product.
So I believe what you're talking about, well, the digital products,
Mm-hmm.
I remember someone saying, and it might have been Tony Robbins that said it, where, because now we don't want to really take the class in a university.
Yeah.
I want to sit with Cheryl or Tim, I'm going to say. I want to learn through Tim. You might be charging $25 a class, and I sit with you, and I can sell it on Groupon. So on Groupon, I think I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding. So selling my poetry class on Groupon for, I'll say $15 a class.
Mm-hmm.
I may have more people in that class versus coming to Temple University for whatever the tuition is, and maybe have less people in my class. I don't know. Poetry is the thing. We do have that in common. That's a great bag of poetry to carry. So is it something similar to that where it's digital? So this is my digital book. I don't have to go through Amazon or go through the other Schuster.
Yeah.
Those other.
So
the people that actually produce the books.
Yeah. So
you're actually going through my digital platform for my book that I can sell to people anywhere in the world at any given time for that
Exactly.
same amount, or it can go up or down.
You can go up or down. So whatever you put the value on your book. So my book is $7.77 now.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow it can be $700.77. So that's a digital product depending on supply and demand. You could do now. Going back to your poetry example, uh, now people nowadays we use Eventbrite. People sell their digital products on Eventbrite. So instead of you going to Temple University and teaching your poetry class, you could go on Eventbrite, set up a Zoom, and you set up a Zoom, but you lock the Zoom where you only giving the passwords to those who pay. You can set up an Eventbrite like, okay, CJ poetry class, $25 a person. Hit this link if you want to do it. Now they can, because we got digital products now, they can pay you through Apple Pay, they can pay you through Cash App or whatever you want. So let's say we're going to use Cash App. They pay you 25 through Cash App. Then all you got to do is just email them the link for Thursday or whenever your class at. It's that simple. And you did that without any website or nothing. All you did was put it on Eventbrite. Someone reached out to you like, hey, I want, or you could just have your Cash App on there. Just tell them, put the cash in it with their email address, and then you'll email the link. Now, when you go on Zoom, you have 100 people at $25 paying for your course, and you're teaching more people. They're doing it from the comfort of their home. Some people may be on camera, some maybe not. But now everybody's comfortable because, one, they don't have to travel to Temple University. And two, you can make this. This is where digital products can yield you more money. Maybe it's a lot of people from Delaware that want to take your class. People from Florida that want to take your class. Somebody in California might, go to, if your class is 7 p.m. Eastern time, they might jump on at 5 o'clock California time. So now you got a broader audience. Everybody's on your Zoom taking your class. And instead of, instead of just your area being Philadelphia, now you open yourself to more revenue because it's a digital product. It's still a digital product. It's a live digital product because it's you. But now you don't have to limit yourself to Philadelphia or limit yourself to going into one space, because the internet, like I said, I can set up a webinar tonight and I can teach people around the nation.
Wow.
And you can set your price now, whatever your price is to you. It could be 25 or it could just be $10. Like, hey, I'm going to do an intro to crypto class for $10, but I need at least 100 people to register, And then for a half an hour of my time, I could just show them how to get into crypto. But then also you can pivot that. Now, if they want more of your time than whatever your consultant fee is, now they can book you on a one-on-one basis. But you broaden your horizon and you broaden your reach by using digital products.
Yo, you are really just giving me food for thought. My brain is just going round and round on the possibilities, because I know initially my open mic was, I just put it on Instagram. And that doesn't mean because you're on Instagram, you're going to come to the open mic. So I can't base the audience on that. But I did start putting it on Eventbrite. And I would say that I was surprised at the individuals that walked in, and I asked, how did you find out? And when they tell me, that platform is just powerful, but you just said something else about the platform. You can teach your classes, or you can do things where you get paid through Eventbrite, or you set a Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's major.
So we, and the way we know you, me and my wife, we was looking for something to do. We saw your program on Eventbrite. So we came out, did some poetries and stuff. I didn't do no poetry in a long time, but that's the power of it. Like my highest accounts are on, I got 36,000 followers on Instagram, but I can't just use Instagram. You got to use Snapchat. You got to use all these things to get your audience. And people are always looking for events. Always. They're looking for events to vend. they're looking for events to go to. So the more you use Eventbrite, you can create, a business out of that if you want to teach poetry, or you can have people. I remember when me and my wife went to eat after we left your poetry session.
Yes.
It was a couple, they couldn't get in. They came all the way from Maryland just to get to your event. I don't know if I never told you that story, but we spoke to them in a restaurant across the street. And they was like, oh man, how was it? I was like, it was great. We just, got out there just to get something to eat. They said, yeah, we came all the way from Maryland but I guess it was packed out from your Eventbrite, so they couldn't get in. But that's the power you had. You reached someone from Maryland. And my wife was there. She'll tell you.
Wow, because they could have come. I guess I think initially it was a limited amount, but then I learned I just put the highest number I can put in.
Oh, yeah.
Because the room is kind of small, but it's still big enough to house whoever wants to be a part of the environment.
Yeah, and that was a full room. But think about what you did with Eventbrite. You could take it to get your Zoom, and now you can have a broader reach, because now on Eventbrite, you can just go anywhere USA instead of just Philadelphia. Because now you're not in a space, you're in a virtual space. And you can just have something, have that going. And now you could just, sell to more people.
That is powerful. Ooh, I'm getting a little excited as we're about to celebrate a 2-year anniversary this Sunday for Spoken Word of Philly. So Tim, tell us, how do we find you? Where are you? And how do we get to you?
So let me give you, if you want to find me, I'm mainly on Instagram, championship_trading1111. I'm on TikTok with the same name, championship_trading1111. Look out for the YouTube that's coming. And you can find me at Timothy Howard Lawson MBA on LinkedIn. So just want to say to my wife right here, she's Unseen World Travels on Instagram and on TikTok. Nice. So you can find us both. She does travel, I do crypto, and also just to let you know, on LinkedIn, if you're looking for work, I do run a solar company called Apricot Solar. So I'm looking for people who is looking for a job. It's a commission-based job, but I would train you and get you up to where you need to go.
All right, Philly. We are really getting it in today. I want to thank you for tuning in to WPEB 88.1 FM and 95.1 FM. This is CJ Speaks Live. We were here today with Timothy Lawson, just giving us a wealth of tools and how we can do something with our current currency and how we're able to use it. And I don't know what's in the mindset of others. I know what was in my mind in terms of cryptocurrency, but this was a great educational class. Learned so much today. All right, Philly, we are about to tune out. Thank you for tuning in, and we are here every Tuesday from 5 to 6, CJ Speaks Live. Until next time, peace.
Peace.